I'm allowed to explore that so people can see more. I haven't had people blow up my text messages the way they have about my match with AJ since I
What up,
wrestled
y'all? What up,
Debbie
y'all?
twice for the
We
NXT
in the
title.
sauna, vibing up,
I've never been
listening to the
a
Carrying
person
Cross
that's had a
documentary
lack of
from WWE.
confidence in what it is that I'm doing because I did this literally for no money on the indies. That's how I started. So I know what works with the audience and what doesn't. I've had in me what people saw last night for a long time. I want to remind people, I want to reassure them that even though Cross, whether he's Killer or Karrion or whatever, is not on WrestleMania, he's still the fucking man. I'm willing to put it all on the line at Bloodsport against a guy that most people do not want to step in the ring with. This guy's going to be very hard to control. He's going to be stronger than me. He's going to be bigger than me. He's going to light me up, and I'm going to get thrown around. I know that's going to happen.
This is a no bullshit platform. That's what I'm all about, so. Karrion Cross, I'm simply going to fuck you up.
But I also know that when that happens to me, I fucking lock in. And it's not going to be good for anybody when I do that. It never has. It won't be for him, and it won't be for anybody in the fucking future. That I guarantee you. What was conveyed to me by people that care about me and are trying to look out for me is like, hey, you're a WWE guy. You're literally in the position everybody wants to be in on the independents. Here's this monster. You're going to give him a shot at you, an opportunity for him to make a big name off of beating up a guy in his hometown of Vegas where he came up, who's also not on Mania. If you lose this match, you're fucked. So a lot of people told me not to take the match because what if? I don't want to presume what Kratos' intentions are, what his motivations are, but I'll tell you all the things you can talk about that make him really dangerous.
Y'all let me know how my volume is.
I see the one thing that makes him more dangerous than anything is the fact that he's a father. People don't think about shit like that. So he's not just getting in the ring for fame and fortune. I don't think he gives a shit about that. What I know of Kratos is that he likes to hurt people in a public setting, just like me. And those are dangerous people, because sometimes they don't give a shit if they win or lose. They just want to get somebody and not get in trouble, not get arrested. But on the other hand, you get paid more when you win. He's looking to put food on the table for his family. You know? He's got a lot to gain. A lot to gain. I feel like I have a lot to lose.
WrestleMania is in Las Vegas.
You just want to cut my throat right away and bring up the WrestleMania thing? Okay. WrestleMania is here in Las Vegas. My own. I'm not on it. Now I sign up and I do Bloodsport. A lot of people close to me told me not to do this. Aside from not being on Mania, it's hard for me to lock in the way I normally can lock in for a competitive match like this. But there's two things that are going to play a very big factor in this. Number one, it really fucking pissed me off that people close to me doubted me. Even for a second. Because I do my best work when my back is against the wall. I have.
For any other new people that's coming in, y'all like, share, subscribe, tap that like button, you dig?
I began to do my best work. And I got the call to come back real fast. The second thing, I got a very good fight or flight response. I've never been the guy to run away, ever in my entire life. Maybe I'm not there right now. What I feel genuinely responsible for is, I feel that there's a responsibility that I need to uphold, that people are enjoying what they're watching that I'm doing. And if I don't want them to enjoy it, and I want them to hate what it is that I'm doing,
This is
it's
so
all
good, bro.
to take them on that ride,
Hold on.
to elicit that
Right when I was getting
emotional
comfortable.
response, whatever that may be. I feel responsible for that. But the truth of it is that I'm not entirely responsible for it. That's the part that wrestlers struggle with.
Right.
Again, because there's only so much paint in the can that you're allowed to paint with. And that's part of the gig, and you have to understand that. Getting involved at the highest levels, you have to, and you have to respect it. Because somebody else sets the stage, and they set the lights, and they bring the cameraman and film everything. You have to make peace with that. But I do feel incredibly inclined, because I love this so much, and I respect that people actually take the time out of their days, 9 to 5, maybe working 40 to 80 hours a week, who knows? They're in debt, they're going through hard shit, they're grieving, they need a little bit of escapism through what it is that I do. I want to provide that to them, sincerely, genuinely, authentically. That's what I've always tried to do. And it's very difficult when I feel like I can't do that, because there's two masters to serve, and you're neither of them. There's the master of the show, and then the collective people as the master. And I think, again, at the highest level, that is something that, as a professional wrestler, you have to learn to manage that. And it's different every night. And it's not a perfect process. There's no textbook on how to do that. You know what I mean? There's not a playbook that works the same for everybody. And I think that's what drives
If y'all know who Karen
wrestlers
Cross
mad.
is from TNA, Impact days, early WWE days, y'all gonna like this documentary.
And you have a different voice when you talk on camera too, right? Is it be all like Macho Man, Randy Savage kind of? Yeah. All right, let's scratch it up a little bit. Oh, with paper on there.
This kind of pain is good because then you know tomorrow nothing's gonna hurt.
Ooh.
Everybody always asks me, what's the hardest part about being a professional wrestler? Some guys say it's being away from their family. That's tough, but I have a really good relationship with my family. And
Shout out
with
to
my
Karen
wife.
Cross, you did. I like his work.
Look at me. Look at me. What's going on?
What's up?
Different dynamic. Some guys will say it's recovering from injuries. I've been hurt. Bad. Not the worst, but bad. Enough that I can't do it.
Vanessa gave me some water to drink.
Yeah.
There we go. We don't have like real towels, paper towels.
You're going on something exciting. You're gonna get to do cryo later, so you're gonna get to be ice cold.
Ooh, you doing cryo? You do it every day?
Only when I'm hurt.
Oh, okay. They still dunk your head in. Yeah.
Do some cryos. Your grandma have a nice meal.
Your grandma's there?
Coffee.
It was involuntary, I'm sorry.
No, don't worry, you're fine. It happens, man.
I like this, man. Like,
For nothing.
a different side of the wrestlers in their own way, like with the content. So I like it.
What changed your life last time?
And that's rough. You go through a whole identity crisis of having to learn how to
Damn.
put a fucking shirt on or wash your hair in the shower because you can't move your arm. All the reasons people could talk about, what the hardest part is. For me, the hardest part has always been meeting enthusiastic fans that want to tell you how much they loved your work. Loved. As in not anymore. That's fucking rough.
Hey, D.
And then they wanna suggest to you, have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing that? Have you thought about going back and doing this thing that you used to do? What about this? What about that? What about this idea? Have you ever thought about this? The hardest part is telling them, and I don't, but the hardest part is telling them, yeah, I have.
Knowing his legitimate background, he's been fighting his entire life. He has been in boxing gloves since he's been a toddler. A lot of people don't actually know that. So I know he can take any of these people down, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with risk. So I know there's a lot on the line, even though I know how good he is. And with Mania going on, with Bloodsport, with Raw, and even SmackDown, he can be called for, could be even NXT. So there are so many things that we still have to do on top of Bloodsport. So once that's done, everything just keeps going. So he needs to come out of this in one piece. He doesn't just need to come out of it.
I feel like I have a lot to lose. This would be different, if everything around the event was different. But you asked me about responsibilities. I feel like I have a responsibility to the people in this fucking city that put me on the map. It made me the professional wrestler that I am, to show up here on the week of Mania and do something. Do something.
Las Vegas, I remember you too. It's good to be home, let me tell you. Once upon a time, many years ago, I was growing up watching UWF5, and I knew that one day, that would come back, and who better would bring it back than this man right here. In addition of what you were watching tonight, the best strikers in the world, the best grapplers in the world, the best submission artists, the best knockout artists. Ladies and gentlemen, tuck your fucking chins, because you are about to witness Bloodsport.
What do you think Karrion Kross has to prove tonight for Bloodsport?
It's not so much about what he has to prove. Maybe there are those who don't know him, but really, all you got to do is be himself. Be the person, be the killer, be the destroyer that he is, that he hasn't been allowed to be, perhaps, or maybe that he's been shelling away for one reason or the other. But I think it's about time for him to make a triumphant return, and what better than the place that helped mold and create who that killer was.
Do you think Bloodsport is an opportunity for him to be able to liberate himself as a performer?
Absolutely. I think Bloodsport is the freest, most open and raw place for any wrestler to be, and it exposes what's great about you or shows exactly how weak you are. And the thing is, if you get into this ring, you can't come out anyway but exposed. The thing is, what are you exposing? What lies beneath the surface? What's under that shell? And in the case of Kross, well, I think what's lying beneath is a beast that's been dormant. And this is going to be the thing to wake him up.
How violent do you think he's capable of being?
I don't know what his full potential is yet, but I think it would be shocking to most people. But those of us who know him well, I think we'd be glad to see it.
I can't be home in my hometown and lose this match and not be on main event. That would be bad. But I feel like life put me in this position because this is where I need to be. I don't necessarily know what's on the other side of this for me, but I want to find out.
About carrying cross, Tom, you've seen it over and over. It doesn't have to be perfect for him to crush your jaw and make you submit. He has that kind of fight-changing physical power. Oh, look at that agility! Rails just left off the canvas. Right into the sleeper. That's it. Arm triangle from the back. One hook in, Tom. One hook in. Yeah, we both
I like the song. Remember the song?
Take damage like that, be manhandled like that. You see him come back from that in front of his hometown crowd. To see someone like Karrion Kross dig as deep as he had to, that's impressive.
Struggle is sort of a part of life.
As we get into the deepest of deep water in this WrestleMania Saturday main event.
So if that struggle wasn't here, I would just go somewhere else and find another struggle. It serves my life, what I'm doing, in so many important and integral ways, but sometimes with what is needed for the business of the night, it doesn't always exactly align with what you need for the creative soul.
Running into people that followed me since day one out here is like, it's like an anchor. Like it wasn't about anything else other than just perfecting the craft so people enjoy it. It was before WWE, it was before Mexico, it was before traveling out of North America to wrestle. I don't know, I feel like there's a deeper connection with me and the people here because they saw me before I was even me. I know this city a lot. I'm trying to come up with creative ways to give back. When I run into them, when I'm back home, it's just something special. You watch wrestling? Who's your favorite? Red Morgan, she's really good. She's really good. Good choice. Nice to meet you. Sorry to hear that. Well, you can always watch it on TV, right? Yeah. If Roman is here, I'm going to hit him with a steel chair. Don't hit him? You like him? You want him to win against CM Punk and Seth Rollins? Okay. Okay. All right. And the wise man. On a scale of 1 to 10, how wise is the wise man?
So, how are you feeling? I feel not good. I'm in pain. I feel like I'm going deaf. My feet feel like they're broken. My ankles are swollen. But I'm glad that I did it.
You're not really like a traditional pro wrestler, like, you know, it's always been like kind of shooty with you. There's always been like a level of real to your...
Which I think surprises people because most people know me as this character worker in WWE. And they're always like, I didn't know you could do that. But it's weird, man. I'm going through I'm happy I did all this. I'm really happy I pushed through it. As shitty as I feel
I
right
don't know
now.
how people understand what us in general as pro wrestlers do when we're not 100%, because majority of the time we're not.
Yeah.
Right?
I wasn't lying to you guys. I actually thought it was fine. It wasn't until 2 or 3 days later, my ankle started bothering me. Some days it hurts to walk, which is rough. And then my hearing is not great right now.
How was Bloodsport for you? How'd that go? Because the first one was way different than this one. You've only done 2.
This is my third.
Third.
We did that.
This is a good documentary. I think everybody should check it
Still
out.
not the same.
If you into
virtually
carrying
the same
cars,
rule sets.
Who's your
check out
first?
the documentary.
The first one.
Harry Smith.
Go on his
And
YouTube.
then the
Carrying
second
cars.
was
Called The Killer.
Nick Gage.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And then with Natural Born Killers, we did Dan Severn, John Moxley, which was the one with Moxley was really physical. That was a life-changing match. And then essentially this one with Jared Kratos. I don't know, everything that I thought was going to happen happened. He was really difficult to control. And I just knew that I had to get his back. So I feel like he knew that I knew that I had to do that. And like at one point, he jerseyed me with my gi and he started kneeing me in the body. And I thought I felt something shift, like in my ribs, and then I couldn't get a full breath. So I got up to take the jacket off because I was pissed. One thing I said to my wife was that I'm not going to get into a strikeout with him because maybe I'll get knocked out.
Yeah.
So, and he baited me into a strikeout and I almost did get knocked out. The line like flashed me. I saw a white flash when I got hit with the line. And I came back too. But eventually I got his back and I choked him. And aside from all that, like, it just felt good to be in front of like our people here.
It's almost irresponsible, but both on us or even our counterparts. But and we're only doing it for the responsibility of giving the fans what they want, or for what it is, right? So what's the difference there, bro? Like,
I'm supposed to know?
I know, right? It's wild.
I don't know.
You don't break into the business thinking these things. All you break in the business doing is really trying to, at least for me, it was like, all I wanted to do was have a match in front of people, right? And then it became like, oh, it's a business. And then it became like, oh, creative. Like, there's a whole other thing in like pro wrestling for me, and I'm sure you can attest to this too, but it made me a better person.
Yeah.
Like, I train differently or I live differently because of pro wrestling, let alone modeling myself. So for someone, I don't know, breaking in, you know, for when you were, like, you were, I wouldn't say like in a dark place in your life, but you definitely were like, okay, I'm going to try to do something that's going to change. And look, it went from making that switch to, okay, now I have to do all these steps. And today, where you sit with the growth of that, it's huge.
Yeah.
Because this business doesn't give back to you a lot, right? I mean, it obviously you don't owe it anything, but it also doesn't owe us anything.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
So you got to take what you can out of it. And it's big to walk away with Bloodsport being so, like, fuck, like that's a huge step. You would never have gotten this 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that you have internally a lot of things that need to be expressed.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be a disjustice if the world didn't get to see it, because there's a lot of entertainment to your thought process, not only on a level of, like, you know, entertainment, you know, for the value, because I know that's what your whole goal is, but you're younger than I am, both in the wrestling business and in the world. However, like, I still very much look at you as a mentor as well, just because I learn a lot from your experiences in life, and I think people do. And your story or stories are...
All right, this part one. I'm going to come back with part two.
So, I feel like they...
Y'all lock in, tap in.
Wide
a range that they can hit people in all walks of life, bro. You know, like it doesn't. There is no like creed. There is no